Hello, my friends, your boy Seth here, taking a quick look at Blade Chimera, which just released, I think, today, at the time y'all are watching this, on the Nintendo Switch. Big thanks to PLAYISM, the publisher, who passed along a code for us to check this out. We really appreciate it. I'm going to have a purchase link in the video description if you guys want to check this one out for yourself. We're going to hop in and just take a little bit of a look at this. I've been playing this for about the past week or so, and have been enjoying it, and I want to give you all a little bit of a look at this. This is the new game from Team Ladybug, who I think I've never played any of their other games, but they also made that Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth. I think I'm saying all those words right. So these kind of like retro Metroidvanias seem to be kind of their thing, and Blade Chimera is their latest. It seems to be their biggest, most ambitious one yet, so we're gonna jump in. I will say, I've been sick these past few days. I've been kind of fighting off like a winter cold or something. Also, Matt wanted to do this video with me, but he's been sick too, so everybody's just kind of sick right now. So I'm gonna try to keep the sickly noises to a minimum, but apologies if there's some sniffling or something. We're just gonna play the intro of the game. There we go already. We're just gonna play the intro of the game and see what the deal is here. And I think the game actually has a really good introduction of like showing you the mechanics and everything, so I think we'll just play kind of the first, whatever, half hour of the game or something, kind of show y'all what's up here. This is Shin, our main character. I'm in the building. Night vision activated, all clear. Commencing investigation. We've detected high levels of demonic energy in the area. Could you handle it? Sorry, I know we've been asking a lot of you lately. It's my job. Don't apologize. So yeah, this is it. This is the game. It is a Metroidvania. You're going from room to room. You're filling out a sort of Metroidvania map. This is a cassette, which actually is how a lot of our stats are determined, which is interesting. This is kind of our like equip menu. You can have 2 weapons at a time. You can have a gun and a second weapon, which I think could also technically be a gun, but typically you want to use like a melee weapon. We've got consumable items, which can do things like restore health and MP and stuff. And then, yeah, we have these protocols, because this is like kind of a cyberpunk thing. So the idea is these cassettes like kind of change your stat loadout here, which is kind of neat. We do have a skill tree, which right now, I think this will grow as we get a little bit further, and you can see kind of all the stuff you can unlock. Then we have our map, which of course is really bare bones right now, but we'll get into it. The thing that struck, I guess, that stood out to me right away about this game was just the vibes. The vibes of this game are fantastic. It has a real, like, DS Castlevania kind of vibe to me. Oh, here we go. Monk's ear patch spotted. There must be demons nearby. Looks like it. Monk's ear mushrooms grow near demons. Destroy them too, just in case. So we have our gun. The gun kind of auto-aims. Like, when you press and hold B, it kind of immediately locks on to whatever. I can do, like, some more fine aiming with the thumbstick or with the D-pad. I can kind of aim more precisely if I want, but there's a pretty good, like, amount of auto-aim. I think our first demon's gonna be in here. Yeah, there he is. I have eyes on a suspicious target. Non-human, most definitely a demon. Proceed with extermination. You can attack with B. So we'll shoot this dude. Again, we could, get more fine aim if we wanted. I've exterminated the demon. Ashes to ashes. There are more demons up ahead. You'll have to exterminate them all. They look so human. I don't think I'll ever get used to exterminating these ones. Music's great. Music's got a very... Again, it's something about this. I played the DS Castlevania collection, the Dominus collection last year. Particularly Dawn of Sorrow, which I loved. And this, like, pretty immediately reminded me of those games. Weird, the power's still on. I thought this place was abandoned ages ago. That area is likely getting its power from the subway system nearby. Good. I'm just relieved that I can use the mailbox. I'll log my location and vitals here. These are save points. You just walk over them. You automatically save. Later on in the game, we probably won't get to this point in this video, but A little bit later on, there's a bunch of side missions that you can do, and they range from, some of them are a little more specific, like go to this area of the map and get this thing or help this person, and then some of them are more passive, like, you know, kill X amount of demons or whatever. But yeah, later on you can access things like side missions from these little save points. You do want to be saving as much as you can in this game, because this is the kind of game where if you, like, do something stupid and, like, accidentally die, you're just gonna go back to your previous save point. You know what I mean? So you do want to make sure you're saving regularly, because the game can be a little punishing. It's not a difficult game necessarily, but the game can be a little bit punishing in that respect, where if you're, you know, if you're trying to be bold and, like, go and do stuff and you've gone, like, a little too far between saves, you can definitely end up shooting yourself in the foot there. We still, okay, our full skill tree is still not unlocked. We've leveled up a couple of times, which means that we have skill points, but we still don't have access to our full skill tree yet. Oh, here we go. We can dodge enemy attacks with L. Just kind of does a little dodge roll. You can unlock... One thing that's interesting about this game is a lot of the powers, a lot of, like, the kind of, like, loadout is given to you pretty early on, which is why I kind of chose to just show you guys the beginning of the game. And a lot of the kind of stuff that you would traditionally unlock over the course of a Metroidvania, like, for example, a mid-air dash, is the kind of thing that you would, in a normal Metroidvania, like, whatever, defeat a boss and now you get a dash and, like, the whole world is open to you. Well, in this game, you actually just unlock it on the skill tree, which is kind of interesting. I've not, you know, it's not a traditional Metroidvania in that sense. It actually, to me, feels more like, I mean, it has some Metroidvania trappings. It has some, you know, kind of light environmental, you know, I guess puzzles, but also just kind of like traversal, like, things to wrap your mind around. There are a couple of areas that are locked off to you until you have certain things, but it's not, I don't know, like, to me it feels more like an action platformer that takes place on a Metroidvania map. You know what I mean? But it's, for me, I'm here for the vibes. Like, I love this game's vibes so much. I picked up a fried egg. Nothing tastier than a fried egg being held by a demon. And a lot of the game's depth comes from our demon blade that we will be getting shortly, and that's when the game's kind of full suite will reveal itself. Vending machines, every so often you can spend some money and pick up stuff that restores your HP or MP or whatever. We don't need any right now. You wind up getting so much money in this game, though. Like, you wind up, for me anyway, like, I wind up having so much money. Here's our first boss. I think he's called the Dark Dragon, if memory serves. I found the demon. It looks like a really big lizard. Exterminating target. Be careful, its energy readings are far higher than your average demon. Yeah, Dark Dragon. A fairly straightforward fight. He's gonna go back here and he's gonna shoot some projectiles at me. Then he'll kind of re-emerge either on the right or the left side. I'll shoot him a bunch. He's gonna charge up a little bit of fire breath and shoot the car. Then he's gonna shoot these little things out. I'll jump over them. And then kind of rinse and repeat. I think he might have like one or two more attack patterns that he can do, but that's essentially what the fight is. Where is he going? Okay. Stuff like reloading happens more or less automatically. See if I can two-cycle this guy, that'd be good. No, not quite. Alright, he's doing a little bit of a different move here. We're gonna get up on the car so we don't... The whole, like, area there is gonna be on fire, so that would not have been good. And that's that. That's the Dark Dragon. Damn, it escaped. And on its last legs, too. Search your surroundings, it shouldn't be far. Permission to exterminate on sight? I might not have the chance to ask later. Sure, permission granted. So Shin is like a cyberpunk, like cybernetic demon hunter, essentially. That's kind of the vibe right now. If you haven't picked up on that yet. And he'll kind of mantle on stuff, like if I jump up onto a ledge and I don't quite make it, he'll kind of mantle up onto it, you know? Hit the save point there. Oh, new demon. It's another thing this game's really good at. The game has a lot of enemy variety. Oh, see, I can't quite get up here. If only I had some sort of ability that could get me up there. All right, let's head over this way. He's back. Damn it, I'm out in the open. Try to remember. What? Who are you? You can free me. This feeling. Then we press X to summon Lux, the Lumina demon. Just in the nick of time. Oh, what's the deal there? There was a little person inside of that demon. A phantom of a young girl. I see her so vividly. Is it coming from this sword? I can control it with my mind. That's right. Whoa! You must be my new vessel. My name is Lux. You can talk? That's incredible. This feeling, it's like you're an extension of my own body. What is this? That's because you are my vessel now. Vessel? No, hold on just a second. I hunt demons for a living, you know. I won't exterminate you, but I'm not going to buddy up with a demon either. If you truly felt that way, you could have denied me, and yet you chose to bond your spirit with mine. Was it for your own survival, or did you feel pity for me, knowing that I'd die without a host? Face it, Shin. You made the choice to coexist. I suggest you accept that fact. Fine, but I call the shots, got it? Try anything funny and I won't hesitate to end this little arrangement of ours. Well, aren't you a feisty one? Soon enough you'll be wishing we'd met earlier. Whatever. I'm going to contact HQ. Turn back into a sword and stay quiet. Shin to HQ. Do you read me? I've exterminated the Titanic demon. We read you loud and clear. Well done, Shin. That's odd. We're still picking up traces of demonic energy in the area. Don't worry. I saw it crumble into dust. Affirmative. We'll take your word for it. Come back to HQ for now. The fog is too thick for the recovery team to reach you. Do you mind taking the subway back? I'll head to the station then. I've marked it on your map. Check it if you get lost. Now what happened there? Shoot them! Don't let a single one in! Satomi, what's going on? Something's up at HQ. I should hurry to the subway station. I can check the map with plus. We sure can. Hey, and our skill tree's unlocked. Look at that. Cool. Yep, this is our skill tree. We got a few abilities. We have a few points here that we can unlock. I guess the first thing that you do, like a typical skill tree, you do have to unlock certain things to get access to other things. Warp is probably the thing you want to unlock first to be able to fast travel around the map. Very handy. But then again, like I was kind of mentioning earlier, like you unlock a dive kick and then a slide and then eventually air dash. These are things that you would kind of typically, you know, unlock normally when playing a Metroidvania, and that's not exactly how it works in this game, which is interesting. Okay. But now, of course, we have Lux with us, and she has a whole suite of abilities. And we have a steel sword, so we can finally equip a second weapon. And this is, like, kind of the stuff that really makes me think of something like Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, not just the visual aesthetic of the game, which I love. I think the pixel art here, I mean, just look at like the background, the way that Shin animates, the sort of like, you know, pseudo 3D of like the sword on my back and everything. I think the game is beautiful to look at, and I also, you know, again with the soundtrack and everything, it reminds me so much of like the DS Castlevania games, and I mean that as a huge compliment. Press X while approaching to thrust your sword into the wall. We're gonna do that. Also, so there's a few different like kind of systems at play here, and I guess I'll explain as we go. We can use our sword as a foothold to get up to higher areas, but there's a sort of like back and forth with the combat. So obviously it uses ammo to shoot. We can attack, you know, close range with melee with our second weapon. But in addition to that, if we need to refill health, the way we can do that is by attacking with Lux here. Lux will refill our health as well. So there's kind of like I don't know, a back and forth and incentivization to use all of your tools, and we'll kind of see exactly how powerful Lux is in short order too, because Lux is a powerful weapon. She has a lot of utility, pretty much right away too. Okay, we can jump up here right away. One thing that we're probably not going to see too much of it in this particular video, but whoops. One thing that the game is pretty good about is utilizing Lux in interesting ways. So eventually there's going to be areas that Lux can't reach, and so you have to like kind of stick the sword into a wall and then get around it and then like plot your way to kind of like summon her, which is neat to get around kind of area. Look at the way that my shadow is being cast on the wall there. Like, what a cool effect. We can thrust the sword into the ground to create a barrier, which is great and is very potent for blocking projectiles. Go ahead and do that. We should be able to, yeah, pull that off. And again, I mean, we've been playing for what, 15 minutes or something, and we've already seen probably like 8 different demons. There's like a ton of demon variety in the game. You don't go more than a few screens without seeing new demons typically in the game. Lux can create little barriers like this, which is nice, helpful. And that is used in like platforming challenges a lot too. Here's another new demon. Let that all kind of bounce off of the shield there. So there'll be areas of the game where you have to use like Lux's ability to summon elements of the world. Like Lux is really kind of your big ability, I guess. As I'm sure you can now recall, I have the power to restore objects of the past. Apparently so. It's strange. Even though I've lost my memories, this feels familiar. Nostalgic, even. You can touch and climb restored objects. Some can even be moved. But not all objects can be restored. To restore something, you need a time distortion. A time distortion? See that green presence over there? You feel it, don't you? Approach it and press X, then I'll restore what was there before. There you go. Now I can get up here. Not trying to get sucked into that thing's aura there. Right. And yep, here's a good example of like creating a little platform for myself. Oh, right, this is like a forklift, so I can kind of lift it up, which is great. Right. Great, just like music and sound effects, and again, the vibes here are fantastic. Oh, right. So we can actually do a little bit of jumping and like creating platforms beneath us in midair, which is neat. Don't have slide yet. Oh no. What are we gonna do? Spikes will hurt us. So it kind of just creates this nice, like, I don't know, the combat loop of the game just feels good. Make a little hook shot for ourselves there. It feels good, it feels, you know, snappy and fluid, and I like the way that the game gives you a lot of tools to kind of not only just get around, but, like, engage with the combat and the sort of, like, different layers to it of, you know, at one moment I'm defending with the sword, but I also need to use the sword to recover health if I want to. It's neat. This locked door, I don't know if we found any yet, but there are these green puzzle pieces. I think there's like, what? Yeah, 56. And there'll be occasionally these little locked doors that you need enough puzzle pieces to open. Alright, let's get on the subway here. Actually, though, I think there's something over here. Yeah, here's a puzzle piece. First puzzle piece. I think there might actually be a sword up here, too. Yeah. Cleaver. Now we're talking. This is so, like... This cleaver, this is pretty much exactly... In Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, I would use, like, a greatsword or a great axe. And this kind of overhead swing, this kind of, like, slower overhead swing is exactly, like... That's the vibe that I loved in Dawn of Sorrow, and so the second I found that cleaver in this game, I'm like, yep, I feel like I'm at home right now. But yeah, it's a neat game, man. It's just like the vibes of it are so cool, the combat feels so good, like the visual style, you know, the story is like nothing to write home about, but the world itself is neat. You know, I like the kind of cyberpunk Japanese vibes you have going here with like demons and oni and stuff. We're talking to our sword, who is a ghost demon girl. Yeah. Good title card. Okay. We are here, at least near to HQ. Oh no. What? Demons in Central Forest? Something must be wrong at HQ. I should hurry. How many points do I have? Just one? We'll go ahead and do this. Because the sooner you get stuff like slide and air dash and stuff, that's the good stuff. Oh, these little things. Another thing, I can't remember, well, I guess now's not a good time to show it off, but because I'm about to get a health refill anyway. But you can use the sword, like, attacks with the sword do recover your health as well. Sir Vicar, this station is out of commission, power outage and all that. Really hoping we get power back, and soon. The game's maps are kind of connected with these little subway stations. And it's not a super long game either, which for me is nice. Like, I'm not looking for games that take hundreds of hours to beat, you know, at this stage of my life. I like a game that respects my time. Sir Vicar, you've returned. The demons destroyed our anti-grav transporters, so we're conducting repairs. Yeah, later on, these things, these little, like, yellow blocks, you'll find, like, floating ones that you can use for platforming, which is nice. Whoops. I like these guys, these frog dudes. Armored samurai. Just like cool enemies, you know? They're just cool. And like, look at that background, dude, with like the sort of like temple and the floating cars and like the, you know, the sort of parallax effect with the scrolling and the train passing and like those trees and the benches. I just love it. Like, I'm absolutely in love with the way this game looks. Immaculate, immaculate vibe. Inflicting damage with your weapon will heal your MP, so it's all like very synergistic. I get sword, you know, usage back from attacking with my weapon, and I get health back from attacking with my sword. It's a very sort of just like tit for tat, you know, kind of combat system in a way that I really like. We do not have anywhere near that many puzzle pieces. But here's one. Oh, hi everybody. Did I mention the soundtrack rules? I really like this song a lot in particular. Like, it's just kind of good. I don't know if this is gonna, like, you know, turn into one of your favorite Metroidvanias of all time, or if it's gonna be the kind of thing that, like, you spend 100 hours playing or whatever, but I do think if you're somebody who likes this sort of thing, like, there is so much to like about Blade Chimera. I don't have a ton of, like, material complaints, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of a really good and cool game. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. This is the kind of thing, like, if I had, like, talked to, like, young Seth, you know, and said that, like, a game like this where he plays, like, a cool demon hunter with long silver hair with, like, a demon sword, I would have been very into it. Listen up, we're entering Holy Union territory now. Demons aren't allowed in, you understand? Don't worry. Oh, a disguise, I see. That's a good one. Maybe I can pass you off as my hover saber. Any game that, like, has hover saber as part of its, like, lexicon is okay in my book. Just don't go turning back to normal on me while we're in there. Sorry, I had my mic muted so I could sneeze. Shin, you're back. Thank goodness. Satomi, what the hell happened? A demon attack. Thankfully, the Union fought them off, but not without injuries. Now the town is crawling with demons. Damn, never a dull moment. Lord Bale wants to talk to you. He's up in the conference room on the 3rd floor. The Archpriest? He wants to speak with me? All these little areas in here. This is kind of like the main HQ hub area. Eventually, these dudes will have like side missions for you too, but again, you can access them through like the save terminals, the mailboxes. There are a couple of... let me see if any of this is accessible yet. Not quite yet, it looks like. There is a dude over here in this area that will sell you weapons and things and like subroutines and stuff. He's kind of like the main merchant. He's maybe on this next floor? No. Oh, some credits though. Take it. What a cool game. Alright, here's the Archpriest. You there, can't you see we're in a meeting? Be gone with you. Easy now. That is none of your concern. I am the one who called him here. Your Holiness, forgive my rudeness. Come closer, Shin. I hear you exterminated a titanic demon. Well done, my child. The world is a safer place thanks to you. You're too kind, Lord Bale. It was my pleasure to be of service. Yes, speaking of service, I have a new task that is, I believe, well suited to your skills. Can I count on you? It was my pleasure. If it's for the good of mankind, there's no task I won't do. As you are aware, demons are infesting our town. What is worse, titanic demons far stronger than the ones in Cosmo Town have appeared. Let me guess. You're asking me to defeat the rest of these titanic demons? I knew you were a clever one. Report to Saito and begin preparations. You'll receive further instructions from there. Understood. Yeah. So that's pretty much the setup of the game. Go around, kill titanic demons, and learn more about the story. You know, pretty classic, like, not everything is as it seems, you know, sort of story. There's some plot twists going on there. You know, kind of like, are we doing things for the right reasons, sort of stuff. Oh yeah, here's the weapons guy. Welcome, Shin. Thank you, Mr. Saito. The Archpriest told me to come here for preparations. Yes, I'm aware. Since you're going up against a titanic demon, I'm sure you want to make sure your equipment is up to snuff. I've got some new weapons in stock. If anything catches your eye, just say the word. What do you recommend, Mr. Saito? You can equip up to 2 weapons, as I'm sure you already know. My advice? Pair a ranged weapon like a gun with a melee weapon like a knife or a sword. I enjoy a good automatic firearm myself. To each their own, though. Whatever helps you do your job. Okay. So we have a bunch of like subroutines we can buy from him. We're not going to buy anything, I don't think, for this video. But yeah, different handguns, like a good example, right? This amphibious gun. A versatile gun which can be used both on land and underwater. There are underwater sections in this game, and if you fire your gun in there, it will discharge and you will take damage and die. So you do have to kind of reckon with that. There are a few things like that in the game. There you are, Shin. I've been looking for you. What's the matter, Satomi? It's about the Titanic Demon. It's been spotted at the observation deck in Phoenix Gardens. We need you to head out there ASAP. But the way to Phoenix Gardens is sealed shut. You'll need an older model key to get in. Yes, exactly. Hanzo's waiting in the leisure district. He should have a key card for you. Understood. I'll grab the key card from him. And yeah, the game's pretty straightforward. Like, they mark, you know, objectives on your map and stuff. You know, you're not... One thing that always kind of annoys me... This is like a pretty... Again, I struggle calling this a Metroidvania in the traditional sense. But that's not necessarily a bad thing either. Like, it also doesn't have a lot of the frustrations that I have with typical Metroidvanias. Again, you can get the ability to warp pretty much straight away. You can warp to these save points. They mark things clearly on your map. You're never, like, fumbling around, wondering where you need to go, you know? You've arrived at the entrance to Phoenix Gardens. Here, I've marked Hanzo's location on your map. Thanks for the help. Some of our servers are down, so I won't be able to calculate a route for you. Unfortunately, that means you'll have to use the marker to find the way yourself. Not ideal, but it'll have to do. So normally you can kind of see like they'll literally even sometimes draw you a line to the objective, which again can be a welcome thing. But then sometimes they'll kind of, you know, leave you to your own devices like this. So let's get a little bit deeper in, and then we'll probably call the video here before long. Hopefully this just gives y'all a decent look at like what the game is. I think the game's opening here does a really good job of setting this stuff up. We also don't want to, you know, spoil too much. Another demon type here. Oh, these dudes, the Sumo Tengu. They'll dash at you, and they'll just go full E-Honda on your ass. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I muted to sneeze again. Really, I'm trying not to subject y'all to too many sickly noises. Okay. Make our way through here. There are a couple of little areas of the game that can be a little annoying to traverse through because they're so, like, enemy dense. Especially since, as that just illustrated, enemies do respawn immediately. Let me get some health back here. Enemies do respawn the second you go back onto a screen. So from screen to screen, enemies respawn. That again is a very like retro kind of, again, DS Castlevania coded design choice to me. I kind of wish, I love the soul system in Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Aria of Sorrow. They even kind of used it in Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. I kind of wish that this game had just stolen that too, to be honest with you, because there's so many neat enemies, and that system in those games was like you kill enough of the enemies and you have a chance of getting their soul, which can then be equipped into your weapons for different effects, and it's very well used in those games, and I think like something like that would have, even though this game already has a welcome amount of depth, I think, I don't know, like there's just additional little stuff that would have really set this over the edge, especially considering, again, how much enemy variety there is here. Something like that would have been real neat to see. But still, it's a very, whoops. That dude knocked me into next week, man. But still, it's a very, very cool game. Hey, we just got some shuriken. I really dig it. And if you're a fan of stuff like this, you'll probably get a kick out of this game. It's good. It's genuinely quite good. And it wasn't something that was like super on my radar. I think we had seen trailers for it, and it was really Matt who wanted to kind of track this down and make sure that we covered it. And I'm glad that we have, because it is a neat game. All right. Well, this is probably as decent a place as any. Oh, here are some enemies you can't just shoot. That'll guard it, so you gotta hit it with your sword. So, you know, the game will shake up some stuff. I don't know if we're gonna see any of them in this video, but there are some enemies that you have to like use Lux with as well. Like there's like a, you know, like a sort of lion head enemy that will like shoot out ahead at you, and you can kind of grab the head with Lux. And oh right, we don't have the key card. We need to find the dude in the Leisure District to get the key card to open that. And you know, like kind of utilizing Lux with certain enemy strategies too, which is neat. It's a neat and good game that is going for a very particular vibe that I don't think a lot of games go for, and like, I don't know, I find it very cool and comforting and nostalgic in a way, and I think that a lot of y'all would probably get a kick out of this one. So check it out. It's called Blade Chimera. Thanks again to PLAYISM, the publisher, who let us check this one out. It's really neat. There's again a purchase link in the video description to the eShop page. Should be out now at the time y'all are watching this. And I hope y'all check it out. It is a neat game that is really cool and has some great DS Castlevania vibes. So let me know if you've played Blade Chimera, if you are planning on playing Blade Chimera. Let me know in the comments below. This has been a look at Blade Chimera, available now on the Nintendo Switch. I've been Seth, taking damage from a giant frog demon, and we'll see you in the next one.